Hi there, in this video we are going to crop images inside of text like that. It's super easy to do. We're actually going to push it a little bit further where we take an image and do some kind of like glitch effect type stuff where there's a letter, it's inside the text, but everything's offset and looks kind of cool. Alright, let's get in there now and learn how to make this in Photoshop. So first up, let's go to File, let's go to Open, and let's go to O5 Selections, okay, in your exercise files. And there's one in there called Clipping Mask 01. Open them up. Thank you, Sydney Ray. I love this texture, but what I want to do is, like you saw at the beginning, I want to kind of mask it inside some text. Pretty super easy to do. So grab the type tool, click once in here, and type in, I'm going to type in my name. Luckily, my name's nice and short. Okay, I'm going to do it in caps. I'm going to select all the text, and I'm going to pick slab serif. So in my search here, I'm just typing in slab, okay, to see, slab serif is the fonts that have like the big, it's hard to point at them. Over here, see these serifs? Okay, but the big slabby serifs. Okay, I've only got two fonts. Which one do I want to use? I'm going to use my Museo slab. You might not have this font, okay, but pick any old font. Make sure it's a bold, okay, or an extra bold or a black, something nice and big. Now let's scale our font size up. Okay, there's a couple of ways. I often just use the transform tool. Often, always. You can use the fonts over here, but I just hit Command T on a Mac, Control T on a PC, hold Shift, okay, and drag it up. Nice big font. Okay, click Enter. And all that needs to happen is that the image needs to be on top of the text, which is kind of weird. Okay, so I can't drag this up here. Okay, so I need to name it by double-clicking the word background, give it a name. Concrete even. Okay, and just make sure it's just above the thing. Okay, and what you need to do now is have the top thing selected. Okay, in my case, my image is above my text. Okay, and just go up to Layer, and go to this one that says Create Clipping Mask. Okay, click on that, and magic happens. Cool, huh? And the thing to note down here is that there's this weird kind of structure. See this, I'll undo it, so you can look at this. Undo, redo. See this little arrow appears? That just kind of indicates that this guy here, concrete, has been clipped to the text underneath. It's a little bit complicated, I guess. One of the perks for it, though, is if I use my Move tool, and I have the concrete layer selected, which does I can kind of move the concrete to kind of where I want, you know. I ran out of image there, you see on the left, but I can kind of move it around to get kind of, I like that better. Okay, same with the text. I click on the text layer and move that around. Okay, so it depends on which one you want to move around. Just make sure it's highlighted over here. Awesome. I'm going to move it across. I'm going to show you how to add, because at the moment it's got a transparent background, right? I'm going to show you two things before we get into some more advanced stuff. I want you to, if you want to move both of them at the same time, you can click on this top one, hold the Shift key down, and click on the one underneath. Now they're both selected. Now they both come around. Okay, next thing I want to do is I want it on a white background or a background. I don't mind what color it is. Okay, so let's click off these layers here so nothing's selected. Let's go to this one here that says New Layers. It's like turned up page here. Okay, it's at the top there. I want it to be at the bottom because at the moment there's this checkerboard and that's fine. Okay, it's see-through, which is awesome, but I want to make it a specific color. So with this layer here selected, I'm going to call this my color. With it selected, let's go to Edit, let's go to Fill. And in here where it says contents, you can pick black or white or 50% grey, or you can just pick on colour. Okay, and then go through the colours that you want. You'll start to see a theme in my classes. Everything's just kind of like teeny green. I like it. Click OK, click OK. That's what I want. I might add a drop shadow here, bevel and emboss, but that's the gist of it, okay? The cool thing about it as well is the text is editable. Okay, if my name is no longer Dan, I can double click this. I can grab my type tool, it's actually the easiest, and just click kind of somewhere in here, and my name can be Jan. It's actually my mum's name. Look at that, Jan and Dan. Okay, so that's going to be this one. Let's look at the second exercise now. Let's go up to File, let's go to Open, and let's open up Clipping Mask 2 by Reinhard Julian. I'm not sure if it's Julian Reinhard. Not sure. Regardless, the image is epic. Love it. Okay, now this example is basically exactly like the last one, but I wanted to show you, I guess, some creative uses of that clipping mask technique. It's not just kind of like jamming text inside of images. There's a kind of a cool effect at the moment where there's this kind of glitch offset image type thing. So just like before, I'm going to grab the type tool, we're going to click once, we're going to type in D because that's my name. We're going to pick a new font like Lust. If you're like, man, I want some of those fonts he's using, You might not, but if you do, you want to go check out our website called Typekit. Okay, we don't have time to go through it just yet, but it is part of your Creative Cloud license, and it lets you download epic fonts. Okay, so say I want just a big D. Okay, hit return. And what we're going to do is the same thing as before. Remember, it has to go above, so I'm going to name it first. Okay, shoes, it's going to be above, and then with that top layer selected, let's go to layer, let's go to create clipping mask, and it's mocked in there. What I also want to do is I want to duplicate this layer, so I want two of them. So that could be it, right? We've done from like the last exercise we did. But what I want to do is push it a little bit further like you saw in the intro. So I want to duplicate the layer. This is going to be my shoes 2. Good, well named. Can you see in the structure here, it's trying to be a clipping mask as well, but watch this, if I just drag it underneath, it kind of loses that clipping mask. Now, not to freak you out, if you are freaked out, just stop it where we stop now, okay? But if you're ready for a little bit more action, okay, what's happening is these two here are what we've done so far. I've made a duplicate down here, okay, and dragged it down to the bottom here. And the thing is, because it's not got any mask, it's actually just filling in all these gaps around here. But watch this, it's actually a separate. Moving it around, I guess, helps us. So be on the move tool, click anywhere but the D and just drag it around, get a sense for it. And what I want to do is kind of like offset it, okay? Just because that's the kind of glitch, kind of cool effect. I'm trying to get this D to stand out a little bit more, and I just want to, I guess, move it over a little bit. And what I might do is with this particular layer, I'm going to darken it down a little bit to kind of, emphasize these laces with the D. So with this layer selected, let's look at adjustments, and there's a few different ways. Probably the easiest way is to go hue and saturation. Okay, so make sure you had shoes 2 at the bottom selected, hue and saturation, and just drag the lightness up. I said never use this, but in this particular case, it's actually quite a handy thing to do. That's what we're trying to do, this kind of like thing. You could go through and drag the saturation down, or can you see I've made it grey in the background here, or drag it right up. But you could mess with this. There's no kind of right or wrong here. It's, I guess we're just trying to do some creative, glitchy type stuff. Next thing I want to do is just crop this whole thing down because I've got this extra stuff down the bottom. So I'm just going to go there. Probably crop it a little bit at the top as well to get my D in the center. Feel about center. When you're ready, hit enter. And that's us. That's our kind of cool glitch effect clipping mask. Now we've done it for text here. You can do it for anything. Okay, so if you know how to download shapes, okay, vector shapes or any sort of shape, a love heart, an emoji, some sort of Twitter icon, if you download those and bring them copy and paste them into this file here, into Photoshop, you can use those to do the exact same thing. So image on top of it and make it a clipping mask. All right, it is homework time. So what I'd like you to do is I want to see 2 versions, okay? I want to see text on an image, just like this, and then this kind of glitch effect version of the text. But I just want you to use your own, obviously, initials, okay? Or you can make another one for my mum, or my brother, or my dad. We all have 3-letter. There's Ben, there's Wal, okay? We all go by 3-letter initials. So you can make one for any of my family. You can pick your own initials. It can be the whole word. It's up to you, okay? But I just want you to pick your own image. Okay? You'll have to pick your own font because you probably won't have mine. But pick your own image for this option, and I want you to see this one. But I also want you to do this glitch effect thing as well. So go off, find your image, do your giant letter, and just kind of offset them and follow this tutorial again. Like always, share them on social media or share them in the projects on this page. Instagram, I am Bring Your Own Laptop. And just so you know, when you are looking for images, this kind of 2 nice places. Unsplash is really nice because you get to use them commercially without having to pay for them or backlink them or anything like that. And it's just some beautiful images in here. It'd be easy to get kind of inspired out of here. You can use Google Images, and that's fine. Say I want to use shoes. Just make sure when you are doing this under Tools, okay, go to Usage Right. Just make sure you check this one, labeled for non-commercial reuse, okay, because you're not going to be selling this thing. You're just using it